Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. Today we're going to be talking about Loki destroying the multiverse, and then Batman not really giving it back to Catwoman. Much more to come back. So, we have all that in store. Bryan, cue the intro! Coming to you from 1920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California, in the heart of Uptown Whittier, Keeping Up with Nerds presents issue number 52. I'm your host, Rene.
This is Bryan.
And this is Nick.
And welcome to the show, everyone.
Did you laugh?
It was the
Yeah, you guys didn't see that. First of all, you guys didn't see when we edit this podcast.
I don't know how I have to edit this. So.
yeah. When we're not editing out me
on
cursing.
a normal podcast, sometimes you'll see Bryan. If you're here, he'll be like, okay, he's kind of humming the intro song.
he hums it so that way we know what it sounds like. But it's always never the intro song that's on the podcast.
Hey, look.
It's always a different song.
Look, let me put it to you this way.
A different song.
Actually, you know what? Since to listeners who have not actually known, we tried out video podcasting last week, and it works spectacularly.
I liked it a lot.
It was great.
It was actually, I didn't realize how much it looked really good after I was watching it, and I was like, wow.
Yeah,
this is a new level, and we can't go back.
I feel like we stopped. Now we know we
started something.
Yeah, we started something, and now we have to do it again.
We got to keep going.
I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't. Honestly, it wasn't that hard to edit. It was literally like clap sync, and then make the intro fit at the beginning.
Yeah,
and
I was
then
at your house when you were
back.
doing this.
Yeah,
and it literally took you like half an hour to maybe even less than 40 minutes.
It wasn't that difficult.
You guys did it on Saturday, right? Or,
yeah, Monday.
No, Monday.
The day I saw you guys.
Yeah, it was literally like super easy. If you guys are listening to this on audio platforms, just know that we have video podcasts now available on YouTube. So there is a reason to subscribe other than just the short videos that we put up there. If you want to see our beautiful faces, Rene over here.
Pretty little faces.
He's on camera A. Look at him. Look at how gorgeous he looks. And then Nick and I are going to be on camera B. So camera A, if you guys don't know, is going to be the person who's going to be introing the podcast next week. It's going to be me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? And then camera B are just the two other hosts. But yeah, let us know what you guys think about this whole format. If you guys like it, we'll keep doing it. If not, then okay, fine, we'll scrap it. But yeah, we like it. So we're going to keep it going.
Yeah. Also, I liked being on camera A. Can I be on camera A more often?
That's 2 weeks from now.
Then you would have to do the intro every single time.
Dude, you know what? They slap all the time, so that's fine. My intros always slap, so that's fine, right?
No, yours was a good intro. Yours was a good intro last week.
It was adequate, yes.
Yeah, after 5 tries. After 5 tries.
I know, I did one.
You did one, and you hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
That was good. That was really good.
I saw Bryan's validation, and I'm like, did it.
Wait, what does that look like?
He was like,
You'll get it when
I've never seen it. I've just never seen it.
It's always that's good, but
it's always that disappointing father thing of like, Dad, I hit a home run.
So true.
I hit a home run.
Do
better.
But
it wasn't a grand slam.
Up my gain just a slight bit. I don't know why. It sounded super muffled.
It sounded a little muffled.
A little muffled. There we
that?
go. Now I'm back in
I asked you before the podcast. You say I sound fine.
I thought I did, but then I don't know. I think it was the caffeine. Now it kicked in and whatnot.
I just thought that was so funny of me messing with Renee's mic and not messing with Renee's mic at exactly the same time of me messing with the wrong mic.
And you're like, is that good? Yeah, it's fine. It's better.
That sounds way better. That sounds way better. You haven't done anything to it. It sounds way better though.
A little bit of self-promo before we get into the topics. Just a reminder, we do have a website, keepingupwiththenerds.com, where we will update you guys on new podcasts when they release. There's a little timer on there. I know we've been short on some of the blogs from the Nerdy Planet. It's just we've been busy, trying to format what we're trying to do here with the brand.
I still feel that if you guys want to see blogs, I would like you guys to write some.
Yeah, that'd be
I
your
want
thoughts.
I want the community to start writing some. We are willing to post them and everything like that. We have the
within
email.
reason.
Within reason. If it is a
about.
diatribe on why Christopher Nolan is the best, I will print that. Just to upset Bryan.
A little bit of G Fuel went up my nose when he said that. I was like, no.
It wasn't that. It was the Nolan thing. It was.
Don't like that.
It was a good. But it was perfect timing. For
Right.
if you do make that, I'll post it.
I'll post it,
I'm
and then
being
without
serious. And
us,
then I put a
knowing-
rebuttal.
If it is basically a blowjob to Christopher Nolan, I will totally post that.
We will be working on some more spotlights further down the line. It's just right now we're hard at work with the new show called From the Multiverse.
Yes.
It's on YouTube. New episode will be coming out this Friday if you guys are watching this on release. I don't know the date, but it'll be coming out that Friday. Episode 2. Episode 1 is already out, so go check that out. Go like it. Tell Rene how great he is.
Right.
I'm sorry. I could be better at it. That's why I was
the,
like,
the voice actor. You could tell him that he did all right too.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
Did
He
he
actually
get the
pretty good.
validation? My validation, apparently.
yeah, I think
No,
so.
he didn't.
Oh,
That was more. I heard a whip. I don't know where it came from.
Stop,
It just
dude! I
cracked.
swear.
I just heard a "Whatcha," and then screaming, and then Bryan goes, "We're done now."
Why, dude? I swear, it's like I
was in the next
I'm
room.
Like a harsh dad that just doesn't approve of
He's just
anything.
in the next room. I'm
Nothing.
like,
Brian all sweaty from whipping someone. We're done now.
Dude, no,
Ugh.
that is creepy.
Ugh.
That was creepy.
Is that it's not like a bed thing, right?
No, oh my god. Anyways, follow us on Instagram and
Follow
Twitter
us
as
on
well.
Instagram, guys. Yes.
Twitter as well. Renee posting all of our content when it comes out on there, just to keep you guys updated.
Absolutely,
So
yes.
there's a bunch of stuff. You guys can find us anywhere.
One last thing that we also had to do this week.
What?
We got a new logo.
We got a new
Oh.
logo.
We got a new logo
Yes.
this week. Yes.
Thank you, Nick, for reminding us.
Yes, we got a new logo this week. Go check it out. Post it, share it, do whatever, like it, love it.
Who made it?
We actually got it from one of our friends from the Super Mesa Bros. They're a podcast and an Instagram group.
Link in the description.
We'll put the link in the description. One of their hosts of their podcast, Louis Mesa, he's an old friend of mine from high school, and he's a graphic designer. And we're planning on doing a collaboration with them soon. And one of the first things that they offered to do for us was to update our logo.
Thank
And
you.
everything else. And so that was one of the first collabs that we did with them. And I think it looks amazing.
I love it. It's great.
I love that. Did you guys see the black one?
Yes,
Yeah.
I saw
The
that
black-
one.
the black
So
and
that's
the white
the
one?
watermark, right?
Yeah.
I love it.
I loved that one. Also the see-through one. You guys
I
will see.
posted. Yeah, I posted. If you guys want to see the see-through or the one that has like no background, which is just the logo, I posted on TikTok, on our TikTok at Keeping Up with the Nerds. You can
It's
see it.
oh yeah, we have a TikTok as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything is going to be on there. We did a total rebrand. I wouldn't even say a rebrand, but a total redesign of our brand.
Yeah.
No, it was a
after
rebrand.
year one.
That was a rebrand.
It was a rebrand.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a
yeah.
rebrand.
What the marketing major here.
Dude, we literally changed our intro, the style we do our podcast. We remade everything, did an entire website, and also a new logo. Yeah, it's a rebrand.
Jesus, man! Like when you put it that way, you think about it.
No,
when
we
you
did.
put it
It's a
that way,
rebrand.
it's like how much we did all that work in a month.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
with the
scary,
time that
dude.
we had too. That's the thing. You're always busy with your jobs and stuff like that. Nick's busy with his job. So to do what we did in the time that we had with this time of space that we had as well too during the week.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's great.
You can sleep when you're dead.
Sleep when you're dead.
All right, first topics going on into the podcast. I want to start with some positive stuff.
Yeah.
What did you guys find interesting this week? Anything new that came out that you guys were interested
I
in?
got reservations at Disneyland. Like that's my accomplishment, honestly.
Hey,
And I
what's
will
up?
thank. I can't name them, but I will. They are listeners. They gave me free passes to Disneyland. I just had to find reservations, but I won't name them.
Hey, listen, if they ever want to get rid of some tickets,
They just had some ones laying around.
They have some tickets just kind of laying underneath the couch or anything like that. I'm just saying, I'll take them.
I am going to Disneyland.
Yes.
Saturday. So we
Yes.
record on Friday. So the Saturday.
Tomorrow.
And I was wondering if you guys were okay with me vlogging some of the experiences.
yeah.
So yeah, that's going to be up on the channel.
Brian,
soon.
you don't need to check in with us to vlog. It's fine.
No, I
So
just
by
want to
this
make
time-
sure.
Yeah, if this time, obviously, they follow the social media. But again, if you guys want to see stuff like that happen, just follow our Instagram.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. Also, Brian, make sure to turn off the vlog when you go to the restroom.
Oh God, dang it!
I
dude,
don't want to see
swear.
it. I don't want to see it. I don't
Last
wanna get
time
canceled.
it was we had to edit that out. Just kidding.
We're gonna get canceled, and it's gonna be Nick who starts it. Just watch. 100 subs.
the marketing.
immediate.
The marketing guys.
The market.
The marketing guy.
is the one that got canceled.
Yeah, the guy that works at Keeping Up with the Nerds, the marketing douchebag. Don't follow that.
So I'm gonna be vlogging some of my experiences, and then hopefully it'll be up within like the next like 2-3 weeks or so. It's gonna be my first experience with Star Wars Land.
Yeah,
That's
which
gonna
is
be
gonna be
interesting.
freaking
That's gonna be
awesome.
awesome.
What, okay, so
I know
what
you're gonna cry at Rise of Resistance.
Okay,
Yes.
so here's what I want you to do. Don't go in through Frontierland.
Go through where?
So okay, hold on, wait. Let me think. I'm
Don't
sorry.
get cocky, kid.
Yeah, hang on. No. I'm trying to remember Disneyland's roots.
You don't have to go into the frontier
No.
lane.
What I'm
Actually,
No,
this
no.
entrance
I'm
is so much
trying-
better.
No. Honestly,
What?
it is a better entrance. That's why I'm trying
Name
to,
the entrance.
Okay, so my bad. Go through Frontierland. I messed up. Don't go through Toontown.
Don't go through Toontown.
Don't go through like.
Oh,
I actually have
so
a
you're
funny
thinking about
story,
going
yeah.
to Frontierland? But you know
Well,
what?
actually, you know
now
what?
that I think about it, yeah, actually.
Dude, it's been 2 years. It's been a year and a half since I've been to Disneyland. All right. I'm sorry, I can't remember the map right off the top of my head.
true. What?
If you go through Frontierland, you got to make sure that
I will
you like.
strangle you on a podcast, and I will let them listen as your last breath
Make
leaves
sure
your
that you go
mouth.
through
You'll
Adventureland
never go to
first.
Disneyland.
Adventureland connects to Frontierland.
I'll make sure the camera's involved. I don't know how, but it will be involved.
just grabs the camera.
The moment
just
you get to Frontierland,
You
take
see
20
this?
steps. 20 steps towards Star Wars Land. Okay.
You know what?
And
You know what?
make
I'm
sure
trying.
you say 180.
I'm trying to make it so that way when you walk through into Star Wars Land, you have the best possible experience. Because I have to admit,
I will. It's just the way you
I'm-
said it.
Okay, moving
You-
forward.
you-
What else
you
are you guys
monster.
happy about?
I'm trying to help
Thank
you, monster.
Well, I talked about what I
Whoops.
was.
I will cut you.
Moving on.
Nick, what
What
are
are-
positive things?
What are positive things?
Or do you want
found
me to
out
go
this week?
next?
Go ahead and
Yeah.
go next.
Me? Okay.
Give me time to cool
I gotta
off.
decompress after being so violently harassed.
Oh my
You see what I'm dealing with, people? I made one little tiny verbal goof, and I'm verbally abused.
All right, so can I get to my part now?
No.
Okay.
I have more
so
to rant
here,
about.
I'm gonna just start by saying this. I know, you see, that somehow the world's gonna change for me and be so wonderful.
Are you quoting something?
It feels like it.
Live life, and I breathe air.
I swear to God, I will strangle you.
Somehow we're just gonna get there
Are you quoting like deep?
and
Like-
be so wonderful.
What's in that?
iCarly,
I
the reboot just came out this
Who
week.
cares?
I care
Why would you?
because it's awesome.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I mean, I haven't watched it yet, but I'm pretty happy
I
about
feel
their
like-
bringing it back, even though Sam's not back.
No, so
I feel like you're a different Disney kid than I was.
that was Nickelodeon, first of all. It wasn't Disney.
Whatever. At a certain point, it all started blending together when you were a kid.
I mean, sure, but I grew up because like certain people grew up with Drake and Josh.
I did,
I kind of did, but I was more of an iCarly kid because I was always
which
fascinated.
is
by,
weird.
like-
that was like the
It was
the
like right
tail
after.
end of
Yeah.
that whole thing. Because,
I think I was like going into high school at the time.
Oh, how old was I when I was watching Drake? I think I was just barely getting out of junior high.
Yeah.
Entering for me was Drake and Josh.
Listen, I know I'm the old man on the podcast, but I remember when Jake and Josh premiered.
Jake and Josh.
Jake and Josh.
Jake and Josh.
I remember when they premiered it.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't catch that in.
Oh,
I caught
That
maybe.
beginning, sir.
I started watching it. I started watching Drake and Josh. It was like that awkward stage of Josh Peck where he got taller, but still pudgy, but not as pudgy as before.
Oh,
No,
so like
I-
before
yeah.
season 3 or 4.
Yeah.
No,
so-
I remember when he was like
The chunky kid.
where he was basically the only fat kid on TV at the time.
That's so sad too. He was the only chunky kid in like all those Nickelodeon shows.
Actually, that's not true. You know who one of the first like
Kenan Thompson.
Kenan Thompson, but not only that, you know who else?
Who?
Gabriel Iglesias.
Oh,
Gabriel Iglesias was on all of that when he was a kid.
Yeah.
that's right.
He was on one of the final. He was like on the last or 2 or 3 seasons.
Dang, man. Sometimes it's like weird because I completely forgot that Drake and Josh were both on. Wasn't it the Amanda Show?
Yes,
They were on the Amanda
Amanda
Show. Yeah.
That was such a good show.
No, but I was an iCarly guy, and that was just because I was always fascinated by the whole like, oh, you know, kids trying to produce things, and I think that's like what kind of kicks.
Do you know what I'm also happy about?
What?
About iCarly coming back is that I don't have to see young teens' feet anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You never heard of
Dan
that?
Schneider?
Dan Schneider, he had a thing for feet. So if you look back at all those Nickelodeon shows that Dan Schneider produced, everyone had a scene where they show their bare feet at some point in like 1 or 2 episodes.
I feel like
of,
I'm
a
really
season.
happy that like my Nickelodeon experience was like All Real Monsters,
Yeah.
Rugrats,
All the
Rocko's
animated
Modern
stuff.
Life.
Yeah.
Rocco's. You know, I had
Doug
like
before Disney.
I
got
had
it.
the beginning of
So-
of Nickelodeon when like it was finding out what Nickelodeon was.
You weren't into the whole Teen Nick thing.
Teen Nick was at the end of like my Nickelodeon experience because like
Okay.
I remember seeing all that, the Amanda Show,
Drake and Josh.
all those. But once they
Keenan
like,
and Kel.
Keenan and Kel
Yeah.
was dope.
Yeah.
What was it? That one was really good. I remember seeing all those shows. But once they started getting to iCarly and all those other ones,
Yeah.
I dropped out.
Okay,
But
so
I was watching Even Stevens though.
I love how.
Stevens
Oh, that's
is
Disney
so
Channel.
good.
Yeah,
I love how
I switched over to Disney.
I always mention that I'm like a big iCarly fan because that was my thing. Like I said, it's the whole production thing that really got to me.
I feel
and the
like
response,
I feel like it's just because you had a crush. That's it.
Jeanette McCurdy.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, called
Yeah.
it.
But that's besides the point. All right, that's besides the point.
He's like, oh no, it has great cinematography.
No.
The soundtrack.
But I
had a crush and I
Jeanette
couldn't stop
McCurdy,
watching.
yeah.
Okay, now it's Nick's turn to pick on me now, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna. No, you opened a can you can't finish.
I gotta think about that. You're just like, what? Wait, what? You can't finish? Yeah,
I
sure.
guess I opened this can of cat food and I can't finish it. You know,
That's a can of whoop ass. That's what it is.
Freddie, I really liked Freddie, even though he was like the dorky kid. But I feel like just to kind of like pass it on to Nick on his like
Yeah.
what his positive thing. The iCarly reboot, it's very much iCarly but adults.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
It has when I watched the trailer, it has that iCarly flair.
Yeah.
But it knows the audiences are grown ups.
Yeah.
And I love that it's basically we're watching these characters just grown up. We're not watching like how it was with like Girl Meets World, where it's like, oh, these characters that were in the show before, but they're just cameos.
They're just there.
Yeah.
No, it's the original cast with Spencer, Carly, and Freddie.
I will
The
say,
only-
will say this was the reason of iCarly coming back to do Carly to do iCarly coming back good enough reason? Like, did it make
it's
sense?
It's a good enough reason for what the show is.
I feel
So-
like it's too soon.
No, because what they basically like spoilers if you guys are going to
Go
be
ahead.
watching
It's
it.
the first
but
episode.
It's
Go
the first episode. I'll just give you like a quick like 2-minute Sparks Notes version of it. Basically, Carly is coming back and her partner or boyfriend, I think she was trying to propose and they were going to build a channel together because she had her whole thing, going to Italy with her dad.
She had a persona. And
She
stuff,
tried
yeah.
college radio. She tried doing some like, working for a network out in Italy and it didn't work out. So now she's back here and she's trying to get iCarly rebooted again with her boyfriend. Boyfriend breaks up. So now a month later, she's kind of like in this depressing state where like, I can't do iCarly without a co-host. Can I do it? So Freddie basically says like, without Sam, I think you could still do it. And they give Sam like a proper send off.
Okay.
It's not a send off, but
I
it's
love
more of
how
like
they
a door.
acknowledge that though.
Yeah, so they said that Sam's off on it with a biker gang, like kind of like
That
pursuing
makes
her dreams.
sense. Yeah. Just
But the
figured it
door's
right.
open.
Sam's character has always been that type of character that just kind of like just does wild
Rough
stuff.
and tough, and
Yeah.
is like I'm gonna kick your ass kind of
Yeah.
thing.
So
but
when they say I telling you when they say Sam's off with the biker gang, it's not that far off for that character.
At least the main character of Even Stevens went like legitimately nuts.
yeah, but they opened the door for her to come back. They haven't mentioned Gibby yet, so that could be in like future episodes.
I saw what is it the one of their rivals. Was it the guy that always
Neville.
Neville?
Yeah.
I saw him. He was in there. I was like, that's
They
cool.
haven't premiered that episode
Yeah,
yet, but Nora, who the crazy girl that locks him in the
she's
basement,
back.
she's in the
Oh,
second
I gotta
episode.
watch the show now. Damn
It's
it.
so she's
Damn
I
it.
liked her so much when she came
Yeah.
back. I'm just like, yes, they brought the
Oh,
crazy
that's
girl
so
back.
cool.
But overall, this is what I told because my
Yeah.
fiance is not an iCarly fan. She
Yeah.
she was more of a
It's on Paramount Plus.
Paramount
right?
Plus. So
Okay.
my fiance is more of a Drake and Josh fan.
I like
than
both,
it was iCarly.
See, I knew I liked her.
Oh my god! So I told her, I said, like, you're gonna probably watch the reboot, but you probably won't like it as much as I will. I think you might find some enjoyment out of it,
Yeah.
but you won't. And here's my thing: if you don't like it, okay,
That's fine.
just be quiet because I want the show to keep going.
So if you
I
guys
think-
have a bad opinion about it, don't say it. Keep it to yourself.
You know
Keep
what?
it to
Okay.
yourself, so that way Paramount can just keep producing.
All
This.
right, in the realm of shows that are being rebooted with a younger cast, with the older cast kind of staying on or anything like that, I noticed that you brought up Girl Meets World.
Yes.
Girl Meets World is a show I really liked.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
I watched a few episodes of it. It was actually
And,
pretty good.
did you watch the Batman episode?
No.
There's a Dark Knight Returns episode.
Oh, really? I gotta
It's-
check that out.
It's a great episode about what does the Dark Knight Returns mean and what exactly are comic books in English class.
Oh, okay.
And how exactly can comic books teach us a lesson that
Oh,
graphic,
so it's
that big
being
novel-
relatively good with
Absol-
pop culture because
Yes.
comic books are integrated into pop culture now.
Yeah, not only that, but also there are a couple. There's actual like English teachers that are now bringing in like Watchmen, The Dark Knight Returns. They're bringing in these graphic
In
novels
real life.
in real
Yeah.
life, and people are arguing about whether or not is that
That's
real.
stupid.
Are those novels?
They
Are those
no,
the great novels?
It's not stupid because they're actually saying that they a lot of them are actually saying that they are like Watchmen, for example,
Yeah.
is considered like literal like what is the web I forget
Like
the
one
word.
of the greatest novels ever made.
yeah literacy or literal
Literature.
literature. It's actually considered literature. Yeah, so it's
Literacy?
interesting.
You went with literacy?
Literal literacy
That's
word.
ludicrous.
You mean literary art?
Thank you, literary. I couldn't figure out the word. There are too many R's in that word. Nick. Anyways,
what are you excited
yeah.
So
for?
literacy is the.
Are you
is
excited about
reading.
literacy?
Yeah, I'm really excited that I'm literate. I'm super excited. I'm finally literate. It's great.
I got to that point, guys.
I finally
Very
got to
literal.
that point.
It's literally awesome.
That's not what literacy means.
Yeah, I know.
Oh God, guys, we need to go to a class.
Schools
So-
for fools.
Schools for fools. Look at me. No, but besides that, the reason why I bring up Girl Meets World is it wasn't the idea. The main thing I think that like really hurt that show was the cameos.
Yeah.
And was the storylines that you are technically supposed to know about.
Yeah.
Because there were total episodes where you're like,
Well,
if you
yeah.
don't know about Boy Meets World, this is probably really confusing for
Yeah.
you.
Fuller
and
House.
I think
Fuller
that's-
House as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, Fuller House did that.
Where it's like a legit like continuation, and unfortunately there was a good portion of like Girl Meets World that should have like
Yeah.
been its own story,
So-
because if you see Boy
yeah.
Meets World, it is its own story.
I saw a video essay on Nostalgic. He talked about Boy Meets World and why it was a great show at the time.
Right.
And compared to Girl Meets World, where Boy Meets World took on issues but made you feel like it took on those issues really well with these characters, and that's what you watched. There wasn't no main plot thing. It was just basically what these characters
It
had
was
to
day to
deal
day.
with. Yeah.
It was day to day.
And Girl Meets World had started that, but then you were just more into the cameos as well too. That's what the writers were
Well, you were-
focusing on.
Yeah, you were
more.
interested. You were more interested to see where your favorite characters
Yeah.
were.
And like that's fine, but it didn't progress the newer characters.
Right.
That's what I heard that hurt the show,
it
yeah.
progressed the older characters. But the thing is that because you did that, your newer audience that jumped on that was interested in seeing these newer characters start falling off because these are characters they don't care about.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of killed that show. And unfortunately, it ended after only, I think it's like 2 seasons.
Girl Meets World.
Girl Meets
Yeah.
World.
Yeah, it
Only-
lasted 2 seasons.
Yeah, it only lasted 2 seasons, but it was a really good show. And there was a lot of like really interesting things about like Sean and Maya. What does it mean to be left you know, to be left as a child. Like, how does it feel when a parent leaves? You know, they connect over that. And that's really an interesting idea. You know, what does it mean to be a step parent? What is it like? How much can I do? You know, what can I not do?
But I think that's the problem
else.
with reboots is that it won't find success unless it's like hitting that nostalgia spot, you know?
Yeah.
That's probably why Girls Meets World ended the way it did. It just didn't get the traction that it should have based on like the old fans.
You know what the thing is that if you look at Boy Meets World, there was always this thing of I could connect to someone.
Yeah.
And like I feel like everybody in Girl Meets World was perfect.
Yeah.
At certain times, like Maya was always a straight A student. I mean, not Maya. What was it? Corey's daughter is always a straight A student. Everything like that because she was supposed to be kind of like Topanga, type thing. But the unfortunate thing is that like the cool thing about Corey is that he sucked. He just sucked at homework or he sucked at anything else.
He was just like your run of the mill average kid too. He wasn't the smartest. He was clever.
Yeah, he was super clever and he
Yeah.
always had schemes
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And that was kind of like the cool thing of like, instead of just doing my homework, I have a scheme to get out of doing my homework.
You know
Whereas
what?
they mainly just go, oh yeah, I did my homework.
You know what? Corey's character changed when he went into high school and college. I just noticed that.
What do you mean?
How long did Boy Meets World go for?
I think it's like 10 to 15 seasons.
Yeah.
Something like
So you grew up with
You
these
grew
characters.
up with him, yeah. You
Well,
grew
That
up
makes
So
sense.
he was like 9. And do you know the story of that? Ben Savage?
No.
That wasn't a show. Ben
Original?
Savage, as a 9-year-old child, walked into a producer's office and said, "You should make a show about me," and then basically pitched his show to
Dope.
him at 9 years old.
So what you're saying is us as late 20 nerds should walk into a production company and be like, this is our
I
stuff.
mean, you could do that in the 90s. I don't think you can do that now.
We can try.
Usually,
We can try.
See, now they shoot people.
Yeah.
Now they stop you at the door.
Yeah, now they stop you
Yeah.
at the door. They're not going to stop a 9-year-old child.
So Nick, we're
Yes.
getting into the tail end at 30 minutes already.
Yeah,
and
no
we
kidding.
still
Yeah, I
have
was
to
just gonna
talk
say.
about the
Couple other
big
things.
controversy. Do you have any positive things that you figured out this week, or
You
that
know
you saw
what?
this week before we started?
The one positive thing, honestly, is I finally had a fun time playing Warzone in a really long time, and it didn't feel like someone was holding my feet over like a candle as I was playing.
I feel like there's some subtext here.
Because when you play Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone, made by Activision, usually you end the night hating yourself, hating the people around you.
Yeah.
You start off by saying, "Let's get this dub."
Yeah, let's get this dub, guys.
About like an hour in, like 2-3 matches in, you're just like,
I hate you.
let's do one more, guys.
Suck.
You play one more, you end up placing like 98th,
Yeah.
and you're just kind of like, I'm just gonna hate my life.
The worst one is when you get the dub and then you're like, dude, let's go again. And then you go again and immediately get shot out of the freaking sky. And then you were just like, I should have ended at the dub. Why did I double down?
Yeah.
So why'd you have fun playing Warzone?
You know what? I actually season 4 finally came out, or season 3. I'm sorry. Wait,
Four.
is it? It is season 4. Yeah, season 4 finally came out, and some of the newer stuff that they added into it, hilarious. They have the armored truck with the Gatling gun on it now.
What?
Wow. That's the second time.
What?
So there's these things called satellite relays.
Yeah.
They're not a contract or anything like that. You just find them on the map.
Okay.
When you do it, you capture it, and a satellite falls from the sky. That once it happens,
This is Warzone, not
this is in
Satlink.
No, this is in
On Cold War.
Warzone. This is BR. This is a new thing that they added on BR.
I don't know either. I'm not playing the game, guys. So
No.
I'm just
He's
trying to follow on.
he's like,
along,
oh,
too.
okay. I thought you meant by.
No,
I'm
I'm talking.
looking at
I'm
you.
talking to the audience.
No, I'm talking.
No,
to
they know
you.
what we're talking about, Rene. They know even if they play on their phone, they know what I'm talking about. So
Comment
anyway,
down below.
what ends up happening is that when you do one of these satellites, you can get a couple of different things. So you can get a new HARP, which is an advanced UAV that
Yes.
lasts for 3 minutes.
Yes, I know that.
Okay. You also can get a loadout,
Dope.
or you can get a truck with a Gatling gun on it that you can then upgrade.
So here's what we got to do, because the last time we played Warzone, you and I wrecked
Yeah,
the lobby.
I was slapping some cheeks.
Yeah. Basically,
Bryan's.
remember when we were talking about the whole 80s action hero thing?
Oh, yeah.
So there's a contract that they try to do where you have to open the vault. What's the tower from Die Hard again? It's the Nakatomi?
They
Nakatomi
kept
building.
it. I
Nakatomi?
was so happy they kept it.
Oh, they kept the building?
They kept
under
it
new
not-
management,
It says in their patch notes. It specifically says Nakatomi Tower under new management.
Yeah,
That's cool.
But basically, in season 3, you can open the vault. You get like over $150,000 worth of like basically money. You get the specialist perch, which gives you like all the perks and stuff. Nick never had that.
I hadn't
He
gotten
never
it yet. I hadn't gotten it yet.
First game in, where him and I played, and one of his friends
We were messing around.
unlocked it literally, and we like wrecked the entire lobby. I was in like a Bertha running over people for fun. It was a great experience.
Yeah,
so.
we got scary at a certain point. No, but the reason why I'm saying this is because we got the harp. We ended up getting a harp, then we were driving around, found another satellite. So mind you, we have the harp, which is a 3-minute advanced UAV, where basically advanced UAV means I can see where everyone is on the map. And it's for 3 minutes.
Oh,
It's a long time. We found another one, threw it, and my buddy was like, no. And I go, what did you get? And he goes, when it lands, you're going to laugh.
It's a Gatling gun.
It's literally an armored truck with a Gatling gun on it. And it just drops.
What is that?
Nothing.
Did you not?
No, it's my wallet.
Oh. I was like, wait, hold on.
No, the camera
Yeah.
over here on my side's good.
Yeah, yours is good.
It's
No,
not dripping
no,
or
no,
anything,
it
is
was-
it? Okay.
It was my wallet. It was I sat on my tile.
I was like, wait a minute.
Sat on
I'm
my
like,
time.
my phone's right here. Nothing's happening.
You know what the funny thing is? I should have just been like, I don't hear anything. You guys are
just
going
kept
nuts.
going.
Point
Yeah.
being, to wrap this up,
Yeah.
Nick and I got to get back to Warzone.
No, yeah, absolutely. But the
Yeah.
thing, so me and my buddy, we went on a 12 kill streak, and we were just hunting people with
All right, so we'll make it.
with
We'll
3
make it better.
minutes.
It'll be better.
Dude, 3 minutes with the Gatling
We'll
gun.
do it. Yes,
We were just
trust me. Trust.
driving around, and then we were like, "Oh man, it's gonna blow up!" And then we had extra money from all the kills we got. We went to the back. You can upgrade it and repair the truck,
That's
and then
awesome.
it would give it more armor. We were like, "This is amazing."
Nick and I got to get back into Warzone.
Definitely.
So great.
Going into our topics for today.
Yes.
So it came out this week that Harley Quinn, they're working on the Harley Quinn
Animated show. Season 3?
Yes.
Okay.
And it turns out that DC stepped in.
Yeah.
And
They were
said-
looking over the footage like, okay.
They're like, okay, yeah, this
Alright.
works. This is good. And if you haven't-
Dumbest controversy in the world.
it is. It's such a
I
stupid
love
thing.
the memes though that are coming out of this.
Yeah.
memes, I think the memes are hilarious.
So if you guys have not seen the Harley Quinn show, I will tell you right now, do yourself a favor and go watch the last 2 seasons because I didn't think it was going to be a good show.
Yeah.
It's produced by Kaylee
Kaylee Coco.
She is Penny from Big Bang Theory, if you guys
Yes.
don't know. Great show. It makes fun of the DC superheroes. It's kind of like in its own alternate universe. You still get to see like Batman and Robin. And if you have any context on like those DC superheroes and kind of like world, it respectfully jokes about those characters.
Yes.
I just love the idea that Harley Quinn's arch rival is Robin.
Yes,
It's
and
Damian-
this Robin's
it's
Damian
Damian
Wayne,
Wayne.
which is so perfect.
And he's just like a little kid.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh, I want to know who my arch rival is. Who's my big bad?
He
and, then,
goes,
and then he falls in. He literally falls in, and then she holds him by the cape, and he's like, oh, I will defeat you. And then she's just like, oh, come on.
great because he ends up crying. And Damian Wayne like does not cry because this is a kid that was trained
By the League of
League of
Assassins.
Assassins, and yet like somehow he ends up crying, which is great. But the last 2 seasons of Harley Quinn is just phenomenal. Just go watch that.
It's near perfect.
So they're working on season 3, and DC comes out and basically says they don't come out. They actually leaked.
Yeah, it leaked, and then someone leaked what happened and what they were told
So
by DC.
the news comes out,
That DC
and this is how I read the headline:
so stupid.
Batman does not go down on Catwoman.
You really need a preference with what you're talking about.
That's how I was introduced.
I know, but
That's how I was introduced into the topic.
When I read the article, I saw it say Batman does not reciprocate oral sex.
Oh no,
That's what I read.
That's not how I read it.
No,
My first introduction to this entire topic was Batman does not go down on Catwoman, and I'm like, wait, what is the context to this?
Technically, they said okay, like they don't like Batman Batman doesn't do that, but I do remember saying that heroes don't do that.
That's what it said.
So that's what the article said.
Heroes, that DC Comics quoted.
But you have to understand that certain headlines.
But that is also the dumbest thing DC could have said.
Yes.
If I was Marvel, dude, I would have been like, heroes do that.
Well, here's my thing.
Just had like a picture.
Captain America going like this.
Yeah, like Captain America with the shield going like, heroes do that.
Yeah. So here's my take on this entire thing. Yes, they are utterly stupid for even like saying something like that.
Shouldn't have even brought it up.
Because when you think of the Harley Quinn show, they do some absurd things on there.
That's the thing, yeah.
Yes.
They do a lot of outlandish things on that show, reference a lot of outlandish things, and then just do a lot of weird
not only
stuff.
that, but also, how is it that you allowed the Teen Titans, like Teen Titans Go, how is it that you allowed them to get that nuts?
Because Teen Titans Go is made for teens. Harley Quinn is made for adults. But Rene and I were talking about this earlier.
But that's the thing, though, is it's made for adults.
It is. But here, because this is where Rene and I started talking about how hypocritical DC is. When were we talking about this? Was it because the news came out?
The news came out, and I talked about basically,
I think it came out Tuesday, right?
It was.
So how did you and I talk about this?
No, it was Monday. It was released
it was
like Sunday or Monday.
It was Monday when we came in to record.
It was literally like right afterwards.
So one of the things I saw, it was like it was a meme or it was a picture side by side. It says like, oh yeah, DC Comics is willing to take out Batman going down on Catwoman, but then willing to keep in Batgirl straddling Batman on the Killing Joke animated film.
Well, not only that, but also Harley Quinn straddles Nightwing.
Yeah.
In what was it? In the Harley Quinn.
He's tied up.
Oh,
too.
and they like legitimately like because wasn't this okay? You're right, because in both contexts. They keep their suits on.
Yeah, they do. It's really weird.
So we were talking about this when Batwoman and Batman, do it. Doesn't Barbara try to take the mask off, and Batman say no, mask stays on, or is that someone else?
That was someone else, but I know that basically Barbara was like taking off all her clothes. Batman was not taking off anything.
No, and then that
because in that she still doesn't know that Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Yes,
but here's the thing though.
Yeah.
In that retrospect, I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up.
It's implied. It's not shown.
Implied what?
It's implied that they had sex.
Oh yeah,
Batman and Batgirl.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well,
it's implying that they're having sex. It doesn't show.
No, but I'm talking about like Batman taking off his
stuff to get down.
Okay, what about Harley Quinn and Nightwing?
You know what I always thought was funny though? In the comics, he always, actually, you know what? Even in Batman the animated series, when he gets down, he never takes off his bottoms. He's wearing the crotch and the tights.
Yeah.
With the boots. And he's shirtless.
Yes.
And he's laying in bed. And I've always thought that was weird.
Yes.
Because I was like, no one has sex like that.
So what about the Harley Quinn Nightwing incident? Because
it's also implied.
Yes, but even if you are implying it.
But he doesn't.
Okay, I'm being the devil's advocate to your devil's advocate.
I know, but what I'm saying is that Harley Quinn and him don't actually have sex. They don't.
They do.
No, they do.
No,
they
don't.
talked about it.
No. With the scene that they're showing, they had sex earlier, but the scene that like her straddling him is Batman walking in, and then Nightwing goes, "I can explain," and he goes, "I don't want to hear it."
No, but the context is that the costume stayed on.
Yes.
So they did it.
I don't know, man.
No, you're talking about these implications. I know, but I get that they're implications, but they do
I don't remember Batman walking in on Nightwing.
Batman and them do walk in. Yeah, he walks in on them.
That's how he finds Nightwing.
That's how he finds Nightwing.
Because he's like strapped in. But where's that from?
Batman Harley Quinn.
Batman Harley Quinn movie.
Okay.
Yeah, Batman Harley Quinn.
Yeah, because Harley Quinn in the last like 5 years has become like a superstar.
That's right. That's right.
So she has to have like 5 movies.
So I can understand your like the opposite end of this is like, okay, well, these scenarios, they're implied that things went down a certain way.
Yeah.
And Harley Quinn show, they're like they're not implying, it's like straightforward. He's going down.
But the thing is, though, is that when you watch the Harley Quinn show, it's the way that Batman is presented in that one. And same thing with Joker. I don't take them seriously as those characters. I take it like almost
They're
like
parodies.
satire.
Oh,
yeah.
they're morons.
Yeah.
No, they're morons.
Yeah.
Like Batman is an utter moron.
Yeah.
So then
show.
what?
I mean, he's voiced by Dedrick Bader.
Yes.
And even then, yes, he has voiced Batman in the past as Batman Brave and the Bold, but even that series,
It's pretty goofy.
Yeah, it was a goofy series because it was the goofy side of the Batman
Yes.
comic books.
The way
it was
see
more
it.
of like the 60s.
Yeah.
The way
It's
I
the
see
60s.
it is that DC thinks we're morons. No, straight up.
no,
I
no,
kind
no.
of feel disrespected now because
but you feel disrespected when the door closes loud.
no.
So that's like not a hard bar. But what I'm saying is that
God dang it, dude.
Or like a car's too loud.
A rock flies by.
a rock flies by.
door
You
doesn't
think you're better
work.
than me? You think you're better?
The door. You know what? I saw a clip of Nick from New Girl.
Yeah.
And I couldn't separate myself from it. And I'm like, God dang it.
I'll push when I want to push. I hate doors. Again, so great.
God dang
I
it,
love
dude.
New Girl.
So
guys.
anyway, besides
I'm gonna
that-
defend myself.
No,
why
no,
I feel
I
offended.
no, and you can do that. But what
That's
I'm
great.
saying, yeah, that's great. But what I'm saying is, and the reason why I'm right is because DC is ultimately a kids thing.
Sure.
But this is what I'm saying. It's okay when you have B-list villains or B-list heroes doing certain things.
That's true.
It's another thing when you have a superstar
I see
like
what you mean.
Batman
Yeah.
and Superman doing certain
It's
things.
the same reason why technically Batman won't get a live action TV series produced by Warner Brothers or DC because they feel those are more as movie characters.
I
Yes.
get that.
Yeah.
And
I understand.
DC is real weird about Batman and Superman.
well,
They're
because
super
they're
weird.
their icons. They're their star characters.
I'm very surprised they even made a Superman TV show again.
That's the thing. Superman and Lois, that shocked me that's a legit Superman show.
But honestly, it's not.
yeah, it's
But
weird.
it's not a
Yeah.
Superman show. That's the thing, though.
Is it like a Smallville show?
no, it's not. It's not
a
even
show,
a Smallville show.
It's a show about John and his brother.
yeah.
It's a show about Superman's kids.
Mm-hmm.
You spend like 80% of your time
With just the kids.
with the kids. Like you don't like Lois Lane and Superman. Yeah, you have a couple of scenes with them, but like every episode, it revolves around their kids.
Do you even like the Lois actress on the show?
She's alright.
I don't feel like she's a
okay.
strong actress to be Lois. I don't know. And I feel like Warner Brothers or CW can't capture a good Lois Lane.
She
That's yeah.
That's the thing. Because Amy Adams
Even
was
still-
okay. But I felt... But I think the only Lois that I ever liked was from Smallville. What's his name? Erica Dusant or something like that.
Erica Dusant.
Dusant. Erica Dusant was a pretty good Lois Lane.
Yeah, that's why I was really happy when she came back for Crisis.
I was always the kind of person that if it wasn't directly referencing something, I probably didn't watch it, and that's probably why Smallville for me wasn't that show. I watched like the first couple seasons,
Yeah.
and then I was just like, I
Watch.
don't
There-
care.
there's
I feel you should rewatch Smallville
Now, right?
because it's really good, and I
There-
want to see how you feel about Lois Lane on that series.
There's one thing I know and to be true, and there's two shows that are hit and miss.
Yeah.
Are Star Wars: The Clone Wars and Smallville. Of,
Hit or miss?
Of just hit and
You hear
miss.
that knock on the door? That Star Wars fan's getting so mad at you.
Star Wars. Hold on. Hold on. If Star Wars fans are mad, explain to me the Jar Jar Binks episodes that are like three back to back, and tell me that's not a hit and miss
Listen,
episode.
if Star Wars fans are mad, then they're just being fans. At
yeah,
that point.
they're
they're just normal fans.
they're also forgetting that at that point that was when George Lucas could still do whatever the hell he wanted. He didn't have to check in with anybody. But,
All right, go on.
But
So,
what
how's this a hit
what
and
I'm
miss?
what I'm saying is
Yeah.
that Smallville is the epitome of hit and miss, where it's just like you have 3 episodes that just you're going like, why am I watching this show? These 3 episodes were terrible. Like, why? They don't make sense. People's like motivations are all over the place, and then boom, you hit an arc that is just awesome. And
Yeah.
it's just super good, and it gets you like 3 episodes were bad, 8 episodes were great, and then you
Yeah.
have like 1 episode in between the 8 that you were like, why? And then you realize, oh, they're filler. Like it's
Yeah.
literally a filler episode where it's like we need to make it to 20.
Then we get an
Okay.
episode of him discovering a new ability.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
and then it's like, oh, season finale, we're gonna reference this in
Season
the
finale?
possible future.
Doesn't he find his suit at the series finale?
yes,
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it took him basically. I think
Took him 8
technically,
seasons.
it took him 6 seasons to fly. After one season, he knew he could fly.
I remember the promo
Yes.
for that.
and he couldn't. And it's like, oh, I know I can do it. I just don't know how.
I remember the
Like,
promo for
yeah.
that because as a kid, you'd get home from school
Yeah.
and you're trying to Channel 5's on.
Yeah.
We're here in LA, Channel
Yeah.
5 for KTLA. And then they do the promos for Smallville. And I
Yeah.
remember that sequence where he flies off from the cornfield.
So what's awesome is that I remember that specific episode when they showed the first time he could fly, but it wasn't Clark doing it. It was his dad, Jor-El, a subconscious taking over his body.
Yes.
And then just being like, boom, and just basically going at
Taking
full
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, just taking
And he
off.
goes into Lex Luthor's private jet on.
Yeah,
it.
there's it's that one, and then also the fact that that also gave a very famous person now, Sam Witwer,
yeah.
one of his beginning roles.
Yeah.
'Cause Sam Witwer was
Sam
Doomsday.
Witwer. Yeah. He was
Sam's Doomsday was Doomsday in that show.
Which was okay. That whole arc of Doomsday, like
You
it
know
was-
what? I the whole arc of Doomsday was okay, but I have to admit I really liked Sam Witwer.
Sam
as,
Witwer
like,
put a
villain.
good performance of just like him suffering
Yeah.
and just like
Like
just
I
like-
love Sam
yeah.
Witwer, but unfortunately, the arc wasn't that great.
No.
But he was awesome.
Yeah, no, that like you said, that started his career, you know.
Yeah, that's one of the first. It's not the first thing, but it's one of the first big things in nerddom.
Did you ever see his show that he did of the US version from the UK version of Being Human? Where he played a vampire?
No,
Dude,
I need to see
super
that.
good. He plays a good character on that show.
So what you're
I
saying
need
is
to
I
check
should
it out.
watch Smallville now
And
that
Being
I'm
Human.
28.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Being
no,
Human.
watch Smallville.
Yeah.
But besides the point,
Yes, okay, we straight off.
besides
so,
the
yeah.
point, back to Superman. I mean, Batman going down on someone.
I was like, wait, how did we start? How did we get to Smallville? Batman going down on Catwoman.
Oh,
I
we
actually thought
literally
it was,
played the Wikipedia game.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about? It's like click a link
clicking,
here.
Click
yeah.
a link and go down. No,
How can you get from Batman going down to someone?
Oh,
To
man, we
Smallville.
opened
Smallville.
like 50 tabs right now.
You know what? You know what was really funny? There was a TikToker who I showed you guys last time. He did it where
I think I saw it. Yeah,
where
Red
Superman.
Panda.
Yeah, where Superman lands and he's talking to Lois Lane, and then she's just like, where he goes like, I can't believe Batman doesn't go down on people. And she goes, he does.
No,
And
he
then
goes like, he said like, yeah, it's a lie. Yeah, I know. That's a complete lie.
Yeah, she goes,
did
oh,
you
yeah,
talk to Catwoman?
No, and then they go back to go to sleep, and then immediately he's like, oh. Wait, hold on. How do you know that? And she goes, what? And he goes,
Wait, I think I left something in Bruce's cave.
I think I left something in Bruce's cave. No, look, Clark, don't go. It's so great. It's so great.
Can I explain why I'm offended by DC for saying what they said?
Okay.
Because
Am I allowed to, Nick?
you're allowed to do whatever the hell you want. This
Okay,
is
so I'm going to
America,
go
buddy.
ahead and
This is
defend
America.
myself.
You can
Well,
tell
Well, then
me-
I'm going to defend myself.
It
Can I
doesn't mean
defend
that
myself?
but the thing is that I can't control whether or not I'm going to tell you you're wrong.
I could be wrong. It's not about me being wrong or right. It's just me putting my opinion
It's
out there.
always whether you're right.
Anyway,
or wrong.
why I'm going to defend myself here, okay?
Okay.
The fact that DC has to go, I understand. I understand the perspective. Like, you
Yes.
don't want to make your icons do things that would be otherwise looked as, very inappropriate. I get that. From even okay, you don't want to put your Superman, your Batman on the TV because they're considered movie characters. You're like S tier superheroes. Totally understandable. I get that.
Yes, because kids watch it,
Yes. But
even though they shouldn't.
yeah.
Kids are technically are not meant to watch Harley Quinn.
No,
it's
they should.
Yeah.
It's technically, I think it's TVMA.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So DC needs to trust its fans, though. They need to understand separation between the different iterations of Batman. Like, let me put it to you this way. Batman animated series and Batman Beyond. We were watching this on Monday,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so
Which I kept watching after here.
Yeah,
at the
same.
shop. I kept playing it at the shop now, and I'm just like, oh god, this is super good.
same. I was watching it afterwards. But okay, who voices Bruce Wayne there?
Kevin Conroy.
So anytime you hear Kevin Conroy's voice, automatically your mind starts to link
Okay,
itself.
I went on Twitter just to look up Batman, and then one of the top hashtags, Batman goes down.
Well, yeah, obviously.
That's the trending top.
But when you think of Kevin Conroy's Batman, right? And anytime you hear his voice, don't you link that universe to the animated series and automatically think that it's in within the same universe?
Yeah.
Okay. What if another Batman movie that isn't connected to the animated series comes out and it's still voiced by Kevin Conroy? Can you separate the two and understand that this movie takes place in a different universe from the animated series?
I don't really.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you that's the thing though, and which also you have to also understand.
You see what Zack Snyder
Yeah,
posted?
I was about to bring that up right now.
Go ahead.
The what was it? What doesn't make sense is that if you are going to have these like standards and regulations, it cannot just be pick and choose, because inside of the comics, Batman has done worse stuff.
Yes.
In what was it? In The Widening Gyre by Kevin Smith. Batman has sex on an abandoned island that he owns so loud that Aquaman shows up because the fish told him that a woman was being tortured and she kept yelling, "Oh God, oh God, oh God," for days. And Aquaman thought that a woman was being held captive and that he needed to save her. And he walked up on Bruce Wayne naked.
Aquaman walked up on Bruce Wayne naked?
Yes. Like literally, Bruce Wayne just got done doing the business. And Aquaman's like, oh, Bruce, what are you doing here? And a woman walks out and he's like,
But you can separate that. You understand that that's a separated story from the main universe.
But the thing is that that's pretty racy.
Yes.
That's pretty racy already.
And Harley Quinn does the same thing.
Exactly. And the thing is that at a certain point, you just have to let a license do whatever it's gonna do. That would have been a really funny joke. That could have been an entire episode of literally Batman going, "I don't do that."
I just want to know what Renee's looking at that he's so intrigued.
No, it's just
Zack
like
Snyder-
right?
It's Zack Snyder's post. You keep zooming in on it.
No, like,
Literally,
oh,
he's
here
like
it is.
glued to his phone. I'm just like,
So,
what are you looking
someone-
at?
Like
So-
literally, the camera is just watching Rene zoom through his phone.
So the
Renee,
director.
there's a camera
I
on
know,
you, like-
no. I'm just going through it because it's funny because Twitter is just so amazing right now with this whole thing. There's like different arts and everything, but the director of the Shazam movie posted this, and it's Shazam looking at Catwoman and Batman, but it's in the background and stuff like that.
Oh my god!
Have you seen there was somebody who posted it was a group text.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
on the chat.
I
It was on
think
the
I
chat.
sent it on the
I
chat.
think you sent it. Yeah,
I'll
where
find
was,
it right now.
Yeah, where like they were going like, "Bruce, that's not true, right?" And then he's like, "Of course not." And they're talking about like sex and everything like that. And then Shazam's at the very bottom. Good thing there's not kids in this chat, or else that'd be real awkward, right,
Here it
guys?
is, yeah. So it's the League chat, the Justice League chat, but just the guys' version of it. And it says, "Batman, I suppose you've all heard the apparitions or something he's made about me." Flash goes, "Yeah, I'm just glad people have stopped talking about how fast I finish." Green Arrow goes, "That's rough, Bruce. It sucks that people are saying that you don't go down, which is a lie." And Batman goes, "Of course it's a lie. I go down all the time. I blank. Who do you like?" He goes blank. Who do I look like? Clark? Clark responds is unnecessary shot. Shazam goes, "I'm sure glad it's just us adult guys in this chat. This would be inappropriate for a child, that's for sure."
So here's
Could you imagine being Shazam and that being a
your phone
league-
going off.
Like your phone is going off. You're
Yeah.
a 12-year-old child, and literally it's like 10 to 15 adult men talking about sex on your phone.
so here's the funny thing.
That's
I
how-
feel
that's
like
how you get on the list.
this comment that DC made, it's like they shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
It's a stupid comment, but here's my backup. Is it a stupid comment?
So I'm gonna jump on board with this because I'm
the
gonna say
number
this.
one thing that we're talking about right now is Harley Quinn season
No
3.
publicity is bad publicity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like now I'm starting to think it's like, did they kind of do this on purpose and say like, oh, of course Batman doesn't do that. There's just no way. And then they're just kind of like raking in that attention.
Because before it, did you know that Harley Quinn had a season 3 coming out soon?
yes,
Yeah.
but it wasn't Like I don't think the
I knew
the
it
non-watchers
was-
didn't
yeah.
know.
That's
I
the
knew
thing.
it was coming, but I didn't
Yes.
know it was that far into production.
Yes.
I didn't know that there were already episodes that were shot. I mean, that were already finished, and that they're ready to kind of start dropping them.
Yeah.
Because immediately after I read this article, it then said Harley Quinn coming soon. 2021, and immediately went, oh man, I wonder what episode it is that like this happens.
Now we
I
have
wonder-
to watch it.
Now I have to watch
Yeah.
it.
They
might
because
reference it or
Because
something.
maybe they'll reference it, or maybe like, oh, maybe I can figure out what episode it was supposed to be in.
Or maybe it'll do like a little Harley Quinn thing / like kind of like Deadpool vibe, where it's like they're about to show it, and then Harley Quinn pops in like, sorry, the DC.
Well, they did that in one of the
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah.
Remember?
That was, and honestly, that would be a really interesting thing
Yeah.
because I think that would be funny if they did do like a Harley Quinn breaks the fourth wall and literally goes, "Sorry, DC exec says that a hero doesn't do this. Let's rewind the tape."
Yeah. Let's
And then
keep-
it's
let's-
literally
let's
and
skip
then it's-
forward or
and then-
something.
No,
yeah.
no, I think it'd be hilarious if they're just like, wait, DC exec said we can't do this because a hero doesn't do this. Rewind the tape, and then you just see Batman, and he's like, "No, I'm a hero. I can't."
with Dietrich's voice.
And I
It's
think,
like-
but I just think that would be hilarious.
I need this clipped on TikTok so it lives forever. So when it does happen,
Yeah.
you heard it here.
Yeah.
We predicted this. June 18th is the day that we said that this happened.
Absolutely.
This is
Yes.
gonna skyrocket
I
us right
think
here.
I think that, and with predictions, the last thing we wanted to talk about was Loki, right?
Yes. Are we
Yeah.
done with this topic?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
I
we
think,
can move forward with it.
think-
There's
I
nothing
think
more
we're-
to-
I mean, it's just Batman. I mean, the only thing I could say is Zack Snyder.
I mean, we
Zack
could-
Snyder
yeah.
did one hell of a
awesome.
great post.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Wait, I don't.
But you know
did it
he
say
did that
who's-
resentfully.
Oh yeah, he has
He
like
was just
so
like,
much resent
yeah.
for the W.
He's like, I can't finish my work with DC and my
Yeah.
Snyderverse, so yeah, I'm gonna say he does do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
If I
yeah.
would have done another Batman movie, of course.
Batflick totally
you know
does
what?
that.
You know what?
Batfleck, where are you? Do you do this?
You know,
Yes. Oh, okay, good.
I'm just saying, Batman bangs. Like,
Oh yeah.
Batman, the entire Bat family bangs, really.
Oh,
Like,
oh my God, they are like a bunch of just like
they are a
just-
bunch of horny
Man, now that I
teenagers.
think
Yeah.
about it, Batman adopts children and has them as their sidekick.
Yeah.
Freaking
He adopts them, trains them, turns them into adults that are badasses.
Well, then-
and then
Let's-
they all have
yeah.
traumatic mental experiences.
but not only that, but they all have like daddy issues,
Mm.
Yeah.
but also they bang. Like
Nightwing he's gone with Starfire, Zatanna.
Nightwing's basically banged the DC
He's a man
universe.
whore. You know,
So
like-
is
You
Batman,
could, you
too.
could literally make
Yeah.
an, you
Huh?
can make an
So is
entire
Batman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Batman's also banged half
Yeah.
the DC universe.
Has a kid with
oh
one of
yeah,
them.
and he's also banged a supervillain many times.
Many
Who, Tully?
supervillain.
Talia, yeah.
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 I still think that that's not his kid.
Point being,
Technically, it's not. They took it like his DNA when they were like,
No,
was
I'm talking about it like it being Jason Todd's kid.
plot twist.
No, because if you read the comic books,
Mm-hmm.
when Jason Todd was brought back, he slept with her,
oh,
and then a couple of months, and then like a year or two later,
mm-hmm.
that's when Damian Wayne shows up, and then she says, "Oh yeah, the last time I saw you," and then they came up with this convoluted thing of going like, "Oh yeah." We
What are
went
you
and did the
laughing?
thing."
At? He's smiling right now. What are you cheesing?
Because I love how we said at the beginning of this topic,
Uh-huh.
or like halfway through this topic,
we
we're
were
like, "Oh, DC's for kids," and yet all this stuff happens.
That's what I'm saying.
And
Like,
this isn't the mainline
No,
DC
it's
comics
like,
universe.
well, no,
I-
it's been retconned now. Now they haven't banged.
No, I know,
no.
but like in comic books, like this stuff is like it's out there, it's published.
No,
you
that's
know?
the thing is like when I get parents here at the store and they're like, I want to start my kid off reading something. I'm like, what's your tier? Like what
What are you allowing them to
Yeah,
read?
what are you allowing them to read? Oh, well, nothing with like too violence or too much violence
So
or
just stay away
dark.
from the DC and the Marvel section.
There's certain Marvel books I will recommend, but then even then, that's the thing. It's like I have kid friendly stuff. Oh, they don't want to read that. Well,
Oh, my kid's into Darth Vader. Do you have any Star Wars books? Yeah, no. Let's go that way.
For that greatest moment in a Marvel comic.
Yeah.
In a Marvel comic Star Wars book is literally Darth Vader getting shot down, being surrounded by rebel soldiers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is that
And
in the
then-
Darth Vader
Yeah,
comic?
It's in the
That
early,
came out,
Darth,
like,
it's
2
in the
years ago?
early
Like the
Darth
first
Vader comics.
arc,
It's
yeah.
one of
I
like, the
have that
coolest
one.
things.
I know what you're talking about.
Of literally Darth Vader being surrounded by rebels, and then they go, put the lightsaber down. You're surrounded by rebel soldiers, and he just goes, no, I'm surrounded by dead men.
Yeah, that frame is so. I remember
That is one of
reading
the
that.
coolest things. And then he goes off to murder like
Yeah.
80 people.
Dude.
There's an
Do you
arc-
have that issue or no?
No, I don't have that issue.
No, but do you
I'm
have
sure
it
it's
in your
in a-
collection? I have it.
I don't.
No, I wasn't
don't.
I'm not collecting the Darth Vader series.
Oh, I used to.
I have the book.
There
I
was-
have the book.
There's
I don't
an
have the issue.
arc that there's an arc that Vader takes on some sort of like either assassin or something like that, and he goes to an old like droid factory.
Right.
And he's losing his limbs, and so he gets like these old droid parts, and
he starts
putting-
attaching them.
Yeah, he starts attaching them to his body, so he can just keep fighting and stuff like that. I was like, dude, that's sick. I was like,
And like he has like half of his helmet gone.
yeah, it's like, dude,
it's
he's
all
like,
ripped
he's all
apart.
tattered and everything.
You know what? You
Don't
know what he
worry,
looks like?
guys.
He looks like a Star Killer.
Yeah,
He looks like Star Killer, like when he's like all androided out and stuff like that. That's what he looks like.
Moral
Anyway,
of the story is that
Batman gives
DC,
back.
Marvel, all those.
There's
Batman
some-
gives back, guys. He returns the favor
Bat-
at the end of the day.
I'm thinking he puts a pinky in.
Oh, really?
I feel like he's dirty like that. You know,
Just a little extra.
he already has. I'm pretty sure he has sex with bats watching. Like there's
Yeah.
guano everywhere.
Guano. There was guano.
You know what guano is, right?
No.
It's bird droppings.
It's bat-
I mean,
it's
bat,
bat
Droppings,
Yeah.
bird droppings. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of figured.
Yeah. It's,
Did you not remember Ace Ventura when nature calls?
Yeah. He's
No.
like, oh, it's guano.
That sounds so familiar. He's,
Yeah.
No, he doesn't say it that way. He's got to open.
Well-
you got to open up your eyes.
So
There you go.
okay, so we should probably
Yeah, because
Go ahead and we've only got like an hour in.
Yeah, and you said you wanted to end it at 1:30. You think that
25
Loki-
minutes to talk about Loki. I
We
said
took-
15 minutes. I
You
honestly,
think hold on. You honestly
we
think that
literally
Loki?
went into a half an hour.
Yeah, you think
talking
Loki's
about
going to be 20
Batman.
minutes or 15 minutes? You really think that? As a
Renee,
producer
go
of
ahead.
this show? As a producer of this
As
show? you
production
really-
manager, I say yes.
as one of the producers? No.
Who wants to intro this? I got to use the restroom, so
All right,
I'll
I'll
be
do
right
it.
back.
I'm gonna
Or
take,
you wanna
take
do
the
it?
camera in with you.
No.
So anyway,
Loki's-
for Loki,
yes.
I don't want to like toot my own.
Figure
horn.
out who's introing this, please.
Okay.
I'm gone. And you guys
Just go to the bathroom.
Can you just go to the bathroom?
You're the third wheel in this whole thing right now.
You know what? I'm gonna. You know who's gonna replace you? Boba Fett.
Yeah,
I'm gonna sit him. I'm gonna sit him down. Sit him down. You go to the restroom.
You can't fold him, don't you? It's
Yeah,
not.
don't-
It's not.
don't.
He's not technically ours. Like,
Yeah. Don't fold him and put him in the chair.
Just wait until he closes the door.
Okay. So anyway,
All right. So recently, if you guys watch this episode, we're episode 2 already happened, and then
Yes.
by this time we have not watched episode 3 because time doesn't work like that here.
no, it does not work like that here, but it kind of does
Right?
when one of the hosts knocks predictions out of the park.
Oh yes.
And you know what? I'm waiting for Bryan to get back because I really
You
want
just
to
wanna rub it in
know.
his
I want to
face.
know what it feels like to like always be wrong and sit next to the person that so far has 100% rate. Like that is like whatever he was saying last week. I don't even remember, but whatever he said last week didn't happen, and what I said was like 95% right.
So while we wait on that, I will talk about what I thought of this episode initially overall.
Yes.
So episode 2 happened, and basically we get to see more of Loki helping out the TVA.
Right.
What I loved the most about this episode was we get to see a more dynamic between Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston in this episode, which I love. I never thought that was a combination.
I never thought I wanted a buddy cop movie
Yeah.
with Loki and Owen Wilson so much.
Yes.
Until that's exactly what I got.
Yes.
But I have to say, this isn't the first time Owen Wilson's been inside of a comedy, inside of a kind of a buddy cop movie or like an investigation movie,
Yeah.
and him being really good because he did it with Eddie Murphy
Yes, I Spy.
with I Spy, and that movie's pretty good.
that movie's not bad. I remember seeing
I
that movie
enjoy
in
it.
theaters.
Yeah, I
when it
enjoyed that
came
movie.
out.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah.
You know, because Owen Wilson kind of plays the the straight man to Eddie Murphy's funny guy, and that's really great because I feel like that's the reason why their combination works so well.
Yeah,
because Owen Wilson is still kind of playing that straight man, and Loki is playing his the Eddie Murphy Vince Vaughn kind of like I'm a wild card, and I feel like whenever you mix Owen Wilson with like that wild card person, it's always going to be either funny or it's going to be like really interesting.
Yeah.
So can I say that after watching Marvel's X-Files,
You love saying that.
I know,
because that's what it is.
No,
because
it's not.
it's the vibe, it's the way it's shot, and like the lighting.
Okay.
It's I'm getting those like mystery
Yeah.
abnormal vibes. And that's why I
Okay.
say it. That's all it is. But I'm just gonna say that Owen Wilson is so great in this show because I forget that it's Owen Wilson.
Yeah,
Yes.
he did a great job of kind of like making you get into that Mobius character.
He feels he feels like Mobius. Not only that, but also I love the scene where they're inside of the hut. And Loki is spouting his BS.
Yes.
He's just spouting
He's
just
we all know
rambling
he
off.
is too. That's the thing. We
Yeah.
know Loki.
We know Loki
Yeah.
is making this up. And I love the moment when Owen Wilson goes, "You almost had me." Like,
Yeah.
you almost had me.
Yeah.
He's lying. Let's go.
He did a great job in putting that sense of like urgency because they were about to reach the Nexus event.
Right.
And then he was just like, "You almost had me." And he like
You almost had me.
I'm
man.
just astounded at how well they transformed Owen Wilson to not look like him and how well he's acting that you forget that it's Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
Because you sent us a clip where Tom Hiddleston was impersonating
Oh
Owen
yeah,
Wilson.
it was like a long
I
time
saw
ago.
that. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
and I'm like, yeah, you could easily, like, if you were to try to impersonate an actor,
Oh yeah, hi, yes.
it's like they have like,
the show does pretty well.
yeah, like they have like a certain head movement, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Oh, if you have not seen this, if you're not watching us on YouTube, you're missing out on Rene's impersonation. But he's like, everyone has a certain way. Like even what's his name? All right.
Oh, Matthew McConaughey.
yeah,
Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, like everyone will have that kind of thing, right? But the way that
Christopher Walken.
I love Jim Carrey's impression of Matthew McConaughey, where he's
That
constantly
is
like this.
really good because I don't. This is from their Lincoln commercials.
Yeah.
Because he does this in Lincoln commercials.
He rubs his two fingers.
He rubs two fingers
Yeah.
together,
All right.
and he does this, and he just says "all right," over and over again.
no, it's
But
not.
also-
you gotta say it smoothly. Like,
But here's the thing though. He also when I saw that clip of what's it called of Drew Carey, I actually saw it. And I
Yeah.
was like, he never. Watch out, Matthew McConaughey doesn't do that.
No, he's never.
Then
He never
he
really.
does.
He does it. I
He
never
does-
realized that.
No,
then.
he did it in The Gentleman.
Oh.
Because in The Gentleman, he's sitting there and like he's like intimidating
Well,
somebody, and he just started doing.
Well, The Gentleman came out
this.
after that, though. Then that means he saw it, and he kind of mimicked Jim Carrey. Then,
Yeah.
because Jim Carrey's like, why does it always look like I have a booger? In
that's a
between my-"
great.
I'm being-
That's a great Matthew
That's a
McConaughey.
great Matthew McConaughey.
It's
That's
like
what
I
I'm
don't.
saying.
What about it?
That is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like he's
impressive.
got a way to like. It's like a very kind of quiet kind of thing.
No, I can't do it.
No, it's because you
That's
gotta
why
like.
I like high school girls. I get older and they stay the same age. Just
Oh,
from
where's
Dazed and
that from?
Confused.
There, yeah. I was like, where's that from? I like
That's-
totally knew where. Yeah.
Oh no, that's Exhibit A in Renee's trial.
Roll the clip back.
Dazed and Confused.
That was Exhibit A.
Dude, this issue's just got a bunch of great clips, man. That's so great.
So
Going back to Owen Wilson.
Yes,
and
right,
Owen
yeah,
Wilson.
Owen Wilson.
Again, you thought we needed 15 minutes.
No,
Yeah.
that's fine. But like, okay, so
15 minutes past.
episode 2, if you guys haven't seen it, we're gonna go into a deep dive. So spoilers if you have not seen it.
Yeah,
But by the time this
15
issue,
minutes.
well, we will. If you guys have not watched episode 2, do like skip this part of the podcast, just because we're gonna be spoiling episode
Wait,
2.
hold on. No, don't. What is wrong with you? Don't skip. You pause it, and then you go on your TV. You open up Disney. You open up Disney Plus. You watch it, and then you come back.
That's
don't
true.
you? Don't you
Okay,
stop?
that's
What-
fine.
What are you doing? You're 15 minutes away from finishing. I see that. I saw that little the
Yeah,
mouse
why'd
go
you
back.
stop only
the
at
mouse
15 minutes?
Put the mouse back. Put the mouse back. Don't you do it. You
By-
come back. Don't
By
listen to
that
Bryan.
point, they're already in the store.
Yeah, you're
We're
in.
wasting time
Yeah.
trying to convince them. This is why it's not gonna be
No,
20
but they
minutes.
stopped at 15 minutes. Like, that's a good point. Why'd you stop at that
Oh
mark?
my
They're in the
God.
store. The hurricane's coming, guys. Like,
Anyway,
So episode 2 starts with them going into Renaissance Fair, which was like in the
80s.
80s.
yeah, it was
1980s,
1985.
right? Which great. I didn't like the fact that they use the hero song.
Why not? I love that.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
It just felt out of place.
I need-
Don't.
No, it's
We'll get
copyright.
Even if I'm singing it?
Yes.
Yes.
I barely
No.
said it.
Ooh,
I
you too
tried it.
much.
I tried it with one of the videos, and it got me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, which video was
The
it?
calls from the multiverse.
Oh, that's right.
yeah.
How much did you sing?
I was just doing dun dun dun, dun like all that.
That?
Yes, and I had to like tone it down.
Yeah, you can't even like
Really?
actually like sing like just the lyrics. You can't even just sing that. Like,
Wow.
YouTube will copyright strike you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
right, well.
it fell out of place
Bleep it.
because I'm not bleeping it. It's fine.
Don't sing it. He's gonna do it.
I'm not gonna sing it.
It fell out of place because Masters of the Universe used that song, the Kevin Smith reboot,
Oh,
and so
that's
that
just
looks so
poor
much
timing.
cooler. Yeah, but it
That looks really cool.
felt wrong. It looked cool. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that the sequence wasn't
But
bad,
I feel like it. You're right. It fit better with Masters of the Universe. For one, it's an IP that's from the 80s.
From
Yeah.
the 80s, yeah.
It fits not only that, but also that's the message of like a hero rising in Eternia, and that's in like He-Man and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
And I do feel like inside of Loki, it's more of this is a dope fight song.
yeah.
It's not because it's always really great when it has a message. I feel like because like in Shrek, it's a great
that's so
that's a
great.
great scene. That's a great scene.
That's like the best.
In Shrek
part,
2,
yeah.
that's like one of the best uses of that
Shrek 2,
song.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shrek 2 when they're running to the castle and everything like that.
So-
one of the best scenes to use that in.
So I'm gonna say this right now. You just mentioned Shrek 2, and I'm gonna call her out on this.
Ooh.
Andy, right now, hearing that is probably like, yes, I totally remember that scene. She's totally gonna be saying
is that your imitation of
Oh
your,
my
of
God,
your
Yeah,
she's gonna
it's
be
high
mad at
pitched.
you, yeah.
She's not gonna be mad at me. She's gonna text me right now. And you know what? I'm gonna call her. I just called her out on the next thing. She's gonna be on her phone afterwards. She'll be like, "How dare you call me out on the show?" Yeah, I know every move you're about to make. I can predict people like.
Wait, hold on.
Now she's not gonna text me because.
So you
She's not
feel
gonna text me just because I said that. She's gonna talk to me when I get home.
so
And then now she's not gonna do it when
Now
she
she's
gets
gonna
home.
go,
So
"Dang it, I'm out of moves.
so
I
what
can't do
you're
anything."
so what you're saying is that your fiance sounds like someone who is just huffing helium.
Have you? No, but she's got a high pitched voice.
She does have a high pitched voice,
She does.
but it's not. It wasn't like where my ears were bleeding.
I literally had to step away from the mic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Point being, I just called her out every move, so she's probably out of moves at this point. She's gonna do one of the three.
And this is the moment that she
A
realized
new move has been revealed.
that she
guys.
realized I can still stab him. He won't be seeing that coming.
won't stab you fully, just like a quick little jab.
So,
a little radiator fluid in his smoothie. You know.
Oh God.
so episode 2, I felt was more of like episode 1 was like, okay, setting up the universe of Loki,
right.
right?
It was fun.
Episode 2 was like, okay, now we're putting the pieces together and we're gonna see how this all plays out.
Right.
It had a lot of like what moments I felt like it, and you know what, I disagree with IGN gave it another 7. They said
Yeah.
like, oh, some of the drama wasn't so
Stop
good.
listening to IGN.
No,
Stop
at that
going
point
on
it was
that,
just kind
man.
of, no, yeah, you're right, because it was at that point it was just like annoying, like, what else do you want? Do you want this to be another WandaVision? No, this is a much more, I feel, much more intricate show.
To interject really quick, I feel like everyone needs to stop comparing every show to WandaVision. Because WandaVision,
I liked WandaVision.
It's good. It's not.
I
the
enjoyed
best one out of the
WandaVision
three.
for
It's
what
good.
it was. That's the thing.
Yes.
For
It's
what
different-
it was good.
it's a
But the
different
thing is,
show.
it's a completely different vibe.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so it's
That's
yeah.
that's like automatically going. Oh yeah, it's what is it? X-Files isn't as good as Twin Peaks.
yes.
And it's like, duh.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
There's a
yeah,
reason
like,
why.
Of course,
They're
yeah, like,
But they're two different shows.
shows.
Two
two
different
different
audiences.
shows, two different genres. Like you can like all three of these Marvel shows so far are completely different things.
Yeah.
and it's really hard to quantify them together because it's automatically like, okay, well, what is your taste? Because if your taste is more of an action, like action and everything
Yeah.
else, then probably Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be your jam.
Thank
Yeah.
you. So you just said exactly what Rene and I were saying months back. It's that every show that has come out on Disney Plus that's Marvel centric is going to fit a different audience. WandaVision fit the audience of, and I don't want to be rude when I say this, but it's like the casual fan base that wanted something different that wasn't superhero.
Yeah,
right.
And WandaVision was exactly that. Then you get Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and what did you and I think of it? We
loved
freaking loved it
Yeah.
because it was very old school Marvel action.
Yes.
And now you're getting Loki that's more focused on like, okay, explaining what the universe is like. Game Theory just released an episode, Film Theory, excuse me, where they were trying to kind of figure out who the real villain of Loki is. They basically said it's a metaverse.
Dude, that guy literally gets it wrong every time.
He does, but I think
He's
it's the whole
worse
point.
than you. There hasn't been a thing on Film Theory that he's literally gotten right.
I mean,
Yes,
I will
but
say
if you're
Film
gonna
Theory
say-
comes up with good, not predictions, but
scratchers.
good theories.
Head
He comes
scratchers.
up with good theories.
Yeah, because that's what the channel's for.
it's a theory.
Yes.
Yeah.
But here's my thing, though. As somebody who's majority right on this show,
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with Nick. He hit it on the ball with this episode.
No, he did. But before we even get there, like explain like the middle portions of it because
what I'm getting to is that it's a really good episode. It's a solid stepping stone into. Because I totally understand. Because I really thought that this was going to be happening sometime like 5, maybe 4 or 5 episodes.
immediately.
And they immediately shot right into the big thing that's happening. And I thought that was really interesting because it's one of those things of how exactly do we catch the audience off guard?
So
Because that trailer is basically the first 3 episodes.
yes. So
Yeah.
let me put it this way. We said in the last issue that in the first episode was the breakdown of Loki to build him back up.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
This episode felt like it brought the pieces together to give us a more redefined Loki. Because at the beginning of the episode, he almost tricked Major Mobius to believe one of his little tricks. Right?
That's true. But
Yes.
I do feel that it's that, but it's also Loki can form attachments, and Loki can learn to like someone.
He can, and he's learning to be smarter, you know?
And not only that, but also I think it's interesting the idea that even though Loki likes someone or anything like that, Loki will not disappoint. He will always do something for himself more than he will do something else. But also that's because he hasn't had that character development to do that. Where
But he's
gonna
getting it now.
But the thing is that
Slowly, though.
Slowly.
Because he's still, you could tell that his main goal is to be up front and center with the timekeepers.
So what did he do?
But-
Did you notice that they kept questioning that? Like, oh, I know it's what did he tell him? It's like you can believe one of 2 things.
Yeah.
Either, what was it that he was saying? Because he basically had to like.
what you're telling me is that either you're saying that all the timekeepers have made everything in the universe and basically pinpointed all of the major points in our lives, so automatically freedom of choice is gone.
No.
There's
It was right outside of the office when Mobius is trying to like convince that other girl that Loki is useful in this entire scenario.
Right.
And so he's like, one of them was like, you can believe 1 or 2 things. The second one was like that you're a frail, scared little ice boy.
Oh,
that
you're scared little. It's okay. The smaller words confuse me. And so was it you're a scared little ice giant?
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And that daddy didn't love or something like that, or something along those lines. And which is also really funny that later on Loki goes like, yeah, that was a little too far. Like I'm really sorry I did that. And he's just like, yeah, that hurt. Like that one hurt.
Yeah, he felt these like, yeah, that one kind of hit me.
Like that one hit a little too close to home on that
But
one.
all of those sequences in the middle, right before we get to the kind of big reveal towards the end,
Yeah.
was that
Right.
rebuilding of Loki, where it's like, okay, now Loki has a purpose on being here. You know, at first you kind of think that his entire purpose is to try to get in front of the timekeepers and overthrow them. We kind of get that feeling that was his action, but it like
Right.
got quickly overthrown because he didn't think it through enough, well enough, right?
Right. Yeah.
So then now we get that development where Loki is kind of bothered that there is a quote unquote more superior version of himself out there, which does it become a motivational factor for him actually like trying to figure things out? No. His motivation becomes like, okay, there might be something, or at least we think there might be a reward at the end of this if I captured this variant Loki.
Well, my thinking is that I thought about it as I shouldn't stay with you because you can't get me anywhere with like trying to bring her down. If I follow her through this portal right now, she can't hypnotize me. Whereas if you go through this, all she's going to do is just turn.
We're talking about the end?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought, okay, yeah, sure.
But what I'm saying is I feel that there is a chance that Loki is doing certain things that look like he's doing it for his own good, but it may be for the best of other people.
So that's what I'm trying to get at, is that there's this character development, because from like when we first meet him in Avengers to like, you know, the end of, I think it's Endgame when he actually dies, or was it Infinity War?
That's Infinity War.
So when he dies in Infinity War, you get this Loki that's like, okay, he's good, and backstab. He's good, and backstab, right? This kind of development feels like it's, okay, he tried to backstab, it didn't work. He's good. He gets outsmarted before the backstab, so now he's got to rethink his entire thing. We get a more, you know, we get that familiar Loki where he's trying to be the smart one again.
Right.
And now at the end of it, when they do the reveal that it's, you know, Lady Loki, a variant from a different universe that has convinced them that there's far greater things, and then nukes the entire sacred line or the sacred timeline. He runs into the portal, and now we're left to wonder, okay, what happened to this Loki that believed in himself, did something good by figuring out where she was hiding? What are we going to get from this in episode 3? Is he going to go back and revert to being the trickster god, the god that kind of like the mischief, right? The god of mischief. Or are we going to get a more redefined Loki that has bigger and better plans for himself?
Listen,
after he got called out by Major
this
Mobius.
Series does not if this season does not end with Loki and Mobius on the back of a Sea-Doo, I'm gonna be so upset.
A jet ski?
I mean a jet ski. Like if it's not if that is not how the season ends, then what the hell?
You know that there's going to be a jet ski. They spend a lot of time doing
I
the
think
whole
it's
jet
going to
ski
be.
thing.
I think that it's going to be like a chase.
Yeah,
and then like there's like an option between we have a car or a jet ski,
and it's going to happen.
You see, I think the whole when they figured out the whole like, oh yeah, you can do small things in apocalyptic event. I think it's going to be something like that where Loki finds like a jet ski for him, but it's going to be like them riding or him riding on like a big like tsunami.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, and then just like, you know, he's riding it along the way while the tsunami's coming at like
just destroying
destroying the city.
And it's just like one of those like his hair is blowing in the wind
because
you see people crashing over and dying.
Because that's an interesting theory that they put up or like they made where it's like, yeah, you can live in a apocalyptic event throughout the entire time.
Yes.
Because you can do small things and the time variant authority will not pick it up.
Well, they won't pick it up mainly just because they don't check those.
Yeah.
Unless it changes.
Yeah. So the funny thing is that, and I hope no one goes in and says like scientifically this doesn't work. No, shut up. Loki is like it's a fun show that's talking about like how multiverses work.
Scientifically, how could you argue?
Oh, trust me. What's his name? Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, but
every time something like that comes out, it's like scientifically this is not how that
I
works.
hate when people did that for. This was the one. Sorry, sidetracking a little bit. I hated when people were like, "Oh, in what is it? Last Jedi when Akbar used the light speed to crash into another ship."
That wasn't Akbar.
That wasn't.
Wasn't it? Oh no, sorry.
It was the Lady General.
See, I think I was
purple
thinking
hair.
Akbar. I wanted it to be
She's
Akbar.
so important you don't remember.
Yeah.
Hey, but the light speed sequence.
The light speed was sick, and then people are like, "Well, you know, in scientifically that wouldn't make." I'm like, "You're questioning a science fiction film,
a science fantasy fictional world."
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you're questioning
shut up.
science,
But Loki,
within that.
yeah, exactly. But Loki does a really good job at explaining how the structure of the multiverse or that sacred timeline works. The salad sequence was
great.
so great.
Yeah,
That was really funny.
Yeah.
But just to kind of because we do need to kind of like
wrap it up.
wrap it. What do you think is coming? Brian.
Oh, why are you starting with me?
Because I know you're going to be wrong, so I just want to start with the worst one.
God, Rene, go. I'm not gonna. I want to sit on this.
I think we're gonna see Loki kind of just like trying to do something bad, like trying to do something that he would normally do, but then realizing that that would be a classic move from himself, and trying doing something completely different.
Right.
I feel like that's going to happen in this next episode, where they're going to expect Loki to do something that he would do, and then turns out, no, he did a completely opposite. Yeah.
Yeah. I do feel that. So my big thing for it is, for one, I think that the timekeepers don't exist.
I was gonna. Yeah.
Because
That seems like a very likely
I
kind
feel,
of, yeah.
I feel
they're
like this
vibing. I'm
is-
vibing on that really well.
I
as
feel
well.
like this is the Wizard of Oz.
Ah.
And the timekeepers are Oz.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why it's called the sacred timeline is one of those things of like, yeah, I created everything, and yeah, oh yeah, I meant to do that. Like I totally meant to do that. And or like, oh yeah, this is like manageable. Because I feel like the reason why he doesn't stop certain events, but he stops other events and he allows them is because he's not powerful, and like the timekeepers
who
aren't.
is he?
I think it's going to be the elder one. The one, so in the comic books, there's like an old guard. Every single time that the Nexus event or like an apocalyptic world-ending event that destroys everything, the timekeepers basically reform into this one last, like basically TVA member, and he's basically like the ancient one, where he then rebuilds the TVA, rebuilds time, rebuilds space, and everything like that, and then resets.
Yeah.
Everything, and then it just happens in a loop over and over again. I think that would be interesting if it was literally Gary, where like that. No, because I think that would be really interesting. Of the idea,
You're talking about the weird dude that had
Yeah,
his drinks
like-
stolen?
handles all the small things.
like
and
I
stuff.
think that would be hilarious if like that guy is actually the timekeeper.
I saw
and,
Brian
like-
looking at the camera, and I was just like,
I think that would be really funny. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I think that would be so funny because, like, he's in plain sight. He's
Yeah.
hearing everything that everybody's saying and everything like that. And I just think that would be so funny. I thought it would be interesting if I could be wrong about Lady Loki.
about
Could be where instead of her being Lady Loki, she might be Enchantress.
So that's actually a
That's a-
confirmed thing.
That's
I
a confirmed
think. Yeah.
thing that people are saying she's dressed up as Lady Loki,
But just she's technically a Enchantress. But the thing
Did
from
you see why?
It's because of the credits, right?
no, there was a file that there was on the Time Variant Authority. Like there was a file that had her name on it that she like interjected with the timeline or something like that. And
Well,
it's,
the other thing is that inside of inside of our credits it didn't say it, but inside of like Spanish credits,
yeah, I saw that.
it says that it's like Sylvia,
yeah.
and it's like, oh, that's not Lady Loki's name. And so some people are thinking that it's Enchantress. I
believe that.
I think that would be interesting, but I do want, and that would also be the reason why she can enchant people
Yeah.
instead of like taking over.
That was
What
my
that
phone.
knock? Oh, okay. I was like, what?
Yeah, instead of like, oh yeah, doing like Loki things, she's
Yeah.
more enchanting people to do her bidding.
Yes.
That's why she's able to control people, and because
Yeah.
even they did focus on that, where he is just like, oh, enchanting people. That's such a like
like she'll
a
touch
coward's
people
way out.
and they're just already like she's controlling them or they're under her control.
Because
Yes.
Loki technically couldn't do that unless it was the mind or the
Spine
stone.
yeah, and he mostly just
And the
does
staff.
like he does shape shifting and stuff.
So
like that.
what I was thinking is
This
that
Loki, at least.
what about if she fell in love with a Loki and Loki has
something happened.
died,
Yeah.
and not only that, but also that's why she has a missing horn.
Oh, maybe that's why. Maybe the Time Variant Authority is the one that killed the Loki, and that's why
Yes.
she's going. I see what you're
And
going
that's
with
and
this.
that's why she has a missing horn. That's why it looks like she's like kind of like battle hardened and
Yeah.
everything like that, because it's a different timeline where things have happened.
Yeah. Because honestly, like when I saw her reveal, I was a little underwhelmed of how she looked, at least. Of like, this is supposed to be the female Loki. I was kind of looking towards like darker hair.
I thought she was gonna have black hair.
Yeah, and then like just
Exactly,
kind of
like
like a
the
more
issue cover
sinister
from last
kind of
week.
looking.
Yes.
From last week,
Yeah.
right? The
Yeah.
issue cover from last week. Yeah, from the comic books, essentially.
Yeah, but that's kind of an interesting idea. But
Yeah.
also, I feel that in next episode, I think that they're going to be on Titan, either like Titan or one of Titan's moons, or something like that, because it is technically an apocalyptic event where Titan just explodes.
Yeah, Titan explodes. Yeah, so she
Where-
could automatically go to
She
another.
can go to a
apocalyptic
different
event.
another.
Why would she need to
apocalypse.
hide if the timelines are being split? Because that's the thing, is that at the end of this episode, the sacred timeline is essentially nuked. There are way too many outcomes. I don't even think the TVA could handle that, because they're handling multiple,
No,
almost
that's not-
near
But that's
nexus
not the goal.
events.
That's not the goal.
So what's the goal?
Invade the TVA.
Yeah, because it seems like she's more
interested.
more
in,
focused on making them be busy and not focused on
because
her.
there is a trailer where this lady Loki, maybe Enchantress, is walking through the TVA, and then she's like trying to access stuff.
Okay.
So the idea is that I can't get into the TVA because the TVA is just an impenetrable fortress. I cannot get
So
in
what
there.
would she want from the TVA?
Timekeepers.
To see if they're real or not?
To
Or
be-
to become a timekeeper?
No, to prove that God can bleed. If I can, if you have an entire, like, basically a religion that believes that the timekeepers are infallible, that they are almighty and infallible, they know everything that's going on, then you can prove that they're just mortals that are full of complaints. They bleed just like us. They make mistakes. They do everything like that. You could crumble the foundation of it instead of just killing them. Because if I kill them, they're martyrs. But if I can prove that they're phonies, if I can prove that they're just people just like us, I can destroy an entire
You're
ideology.
essentially taking away their power.
Exactly. And I can destroy an entire ideology by doing that, by exposing them as frauds. And I think and that sounds more Loki-esque than just murder.
Okay. So can I jump into my prediction?
Oh, we still got to do. Dang.
Yeah, exactly. No, Nick goes off on his, like, he's
Hey man,
freaking
just
detailed.
because I'm you know what?
No,
When
you
I-
called this one. You called this one, which is really good.
Yeah.
I know my prediction's gonna be wrong, but I like to have fun with this idea because I'll put it this way. It's interesting. Like, we're finally getting multiverses in the MCU. Like, we're getting the confirmation that this thing could exist, right? So last week I basically said that the multi-universe war that occurred, or that they referenced in the first episode, is essentially all the MCU properties, or all the Marvel properties that existed before the MCU, kind of trying to fight it out. Like, I'm looking at it from like a production standpoint, right? So how interesting would it be if this series, or if this season, ended as if it were a series finale, and then the second supposed season is Loki and Mobius,
Is it bad?
like a
If
buddy
they-
cop thing?
Yeah.
Is it bad that if they do have a timekeeper, I want it to be Kevin Feige?
No,
Like, in
it
makeup?
would be very interesting, because again, you're going off that idea that it's production.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it's all these. Yeah.
But I think if it was like a scared Kevin Feige, like playing a character inside of the Marvel universe,
Yes.
I just think that would be hilarious. Of just like, I got pushed into this, and at a certain point, you just go with it.
I know that Nick's going to take full credit if that's the actual thing, but I'd like to say that I want to take credit for at least laying down the foundation and saying it, okay? Because I know you're going to be like, I was right! I called it! I said it! And all this stuff, and I'll be like, yeah, but I also said that it was all production based,
It's in,
on,
the,
you know?
it's in the VOD.
Whatever. So, to kind of wrap it up, because, you're getting tired.
I'm getting tired.
Yeah, and I'm also hungry, too.
Yes, I'm hungry, and the energy drink is. I'm crashing.
So how great would it be
Chug
if
more.
the second season was not labeled Loki, but it was like Loki and Mobius buddy cop series, and they go through the different timelines to kind of see what's going on, and they're trying to figure things out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's
You want the time traveling Miami Vice show.
yes, and instead of a blue telephone box or some sort of rad car, their time machine is a jet ski.
That's reaching.
Oh
But
my god.
again, you're
How
showing
cool
why
would
you're
that be?
wrong.
Come on.
Mine made sense.
Yeah, but like, imagine. I know I'm going to be wrong, but how
I like
cool would
how
that be?
imagine though. Like,
Loki, Mobius on a
That's the
time
only thing it'll be,
traveling
is an
multi-universe.
imagination.
Yeah, exactly. A multi-universe traveling
imagination.
jet ski.
So guys, thank you guys for watching the podcast.
And if they do it,
guys.
don't cancel me out of this. If they do it, I will celebrate. Even if they reference it and they don't end up doing it, a time-traveling, multi-universe jumping jet ski.
There is a higher likelihood of Mephisto showing up at the end of this series than them having a jet ski
Kevin
time
Feige,
machine.
listen, give me a call, buddy. Look, we can
me a
work on
call.
the
That is-
time-traveling,
He'll give you a
multi-universe
call and just be
jumping
like,
jet
"That's
ski."
ridiculous.
No, it's not ridiculous. But I will say that,
Yeah.
you know, I think that the multiverse or the sacred timeline does need a collapse and
Yeah,
it needs to
it
branch
does.
out because Multiverse of Madness, the title now starts to make sense.
Exactly,
You know,
because the multiverse is literally put into madness.
Exactly. So this isn't going to get fixed. Even if you do say it is some sort of like, you know, distraction. I think that the sacred timeline isn't going to be fixable. I think it's completely like we are still going to have a main timeline, but the different universes that have, you know, spawned out of this, we're going to be seeing in the what ifs in the multiverse of
I think
madness.
the thing is that I think she created the multiverse. Because they said that it was just one solid timeline.
Yes,
She said it was one solid sacred timeline.
yeah.
What happens when you have... Because she did it in a bunch of places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did it all across time. She did it in
Different planets and
different
stuff.
planets. She did it on Titan. She did it on on the Kree homeworld. She did it with the Nova Chorus. She did it everywhere.
Yeah.
All over the place. That means that now there are new heroes that are available. There are new things that are available.
properties.
Different new properties. And she's doing it in different times. So you can literally say that this timeline got out of control and we were unable to stop it. So that means from this point all the way until it hits where we are now, it's a completely different universe.
That's why you get the what if series.
Yeah.
And that's how you
And
get
I
the
will
what
say,
if.
I will say this: the clash of multiverses that are going to happen now, we're going to see in Spider-Man, No Way Home.
Yeah.
The rumor I had for Spider-Man No Way Home is that the way that Spider-Man basically gets tricked. Where it's he's trying to talk to Doctor Strange, and then in Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum, he sees that there is villains from alternate universes. And then it's like, oh, why are they here? And he's like, oh, I'm trying to send them back to their world. And it's supposed to, and from what I've heard, it's supposed to be Green Goblin who basically convinces Spider-Man to let him go because he hasn't met Norman Osborn yet.
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
And it's one of those things of like, if you send us back, Spider-Man's going to kill us. In our universes, Spider-Man murdered us. And it's like, oh, well, I can't like sentence them to death because that's what Doctor Strange is going to do. If I release them, at least they have like free will and they can do all these other things. And
You know what? That
that's-
makes sense for like Tom Holland's Spider-Man, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that would make a lot of sense. And then
Yeah.
it's one of those things of like, okay, I've released these people and everything else, and then that's where it goes. Not only that, but also I really want Willem Dafoe back.
I know.
I don't think they're going to announce it. If they do bring him back, I think that it's
Oh,
better
no.
wraps.
Well, that's a rumor too that I've heard is that either Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin will make an appearance or show up.
Even if
Yeah.
even if it's not Willem Dafoe, they could still use the costume.
They can still use the
No,
costume.
Yeah.
I want the better costume.
Okay, sure.
Oh, the
Have you seen his original costume
Yeah.
from the Sam Raimi,
Mhm.
where he actually
it was
has
like a
the moving
mask,
jaw
Yeah.
and
They
everything
were
else?
originally going to do that, and then they just thought it would be too scary for audiences.
They thought
Yeah,
it was
they
going to
could.
scare kids.
Yeah.
They thought it was going to scare kids.
Now, that
Also-
wouldn't have scared me. I would have been like, "That's cool."
Also,
I
they
was like,
said that what was it? They said that it would break down too much. Like it was like the jaw.
too
It was
many
like
pieces that would have to be.
it was like the shark in Jaws.
Yeah.
So going back to this theory of like Spider-Man's going to introduce the first clashes of like multiverses and stuff like that, it would be very interesting if Spider-Man has sequences of old movies like from the Sam Raimi universe or the Amazing Universe, and you see the bomb just drop in a certain place and then reset it, and
reset
that
it.
causes
That could be it.
Electro
Yeah.
or Dr. Octavius to jump to a different area, or a door opens or something like that, and they
Yeah.
manage to get into
Right.
this MCU timeline.
Yeah.
And that's how we get the introduction of, this Spider-Man seeing that there is a multiverse out there, and that causes, him to team up in Doctor Strange. Now the question becomes, and let's make this as a little quick, little response. How does Shang-Chi fit into all this? Because Shang-Chi technically takes place after the events of Endgame, right?
I feel that it takes place in between the events of Endgame and WandaVision.
Okay, so then
Yeah.
technically we won't see anything connected to this.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like kind of like a Black Panther thing.
I think
where,
I think it's going to be its own little world,
yeah.
its own little universe and everything like that, because I feel like the 10 rings will become something later. Because the 10 rings are supposed to be like these like basically infinity stones.
they're basically like they're more powerful together. You know, it's kind of like that is where they all do their own thing and stuff like that, and just Mandarin collecting them over time and stuff.
Yes, and I think that's kind of like that's going to be its own interesting thing, the way to see the way the Mandarin does that and everything else. But I do feel, because I feel like you're working with a lot of like really complicated ideas of like going into the multiverse, messing with time, doing different stuff like that, where we need just a hero going in and just beating up a villain. And I think you need that break. You do need that break because some of these ideas are very comic booky.
Yeah.
They're so comic, and I love it so much. But for an audience, you need that break.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially for like a general audience, because they can only take so much of like a hero going after the
Something
Well-
to bring in the casuals like WandaVision did.
Well, think about it, because you have WandaVision, which has all these like theories and all these like little goofy things of like multiverse and everything like that. Then you had Then now you have this. What was it? Then you had Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is more classic
You wanted to
Marvel.
say Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I did. What was it? Was more classic Marvel, and then now we have Loki, which is kind of back to that thing. And then after this, you're gonna get Black Widow, which is more classic Marvel. And then it keeps going with like Shang-Chi, and then you're gonna get Spider-Man, which is kind of like, okay, cool. Now back to what we were talking about the multiverses and stuff like that.
Well, they'll reference it the same way they referenced Thor in the end of Iron Man.
yes.
Yeah, that'll connect some sort of way.
They'll
But
be they always like to connect or just tell us. So
before Rene wraps this episode up, we are going to have continuous Loki talk on every issue, hopefully.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
until the end of the series, because we have 4 more episodes left.
Is it only
And
4 more?
4 more. It's only 6 episodes.
it's only 6 episodes.
Yes. So we're gonna wrap this issue up, but there's tons to look forward to. That we're always gonna be talking about new topics, and we're trying to give you guys more content because I know that one of the some of the feedback that we got is that an hour is too short. So we're trying to give you guys a little bit more. Hopefully, not extend it over to 2 hours so that people get bored of us and stuff.
You should.
Yeah.
You should really wrap up so that we can keep that together.
With that said, guys, again, if you're listening to this on an audio platform like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Podbean, we do have a YouTube channel. Head on over there and subscribe. You guys can see our beautiful faces on there now since we're working with Facecam, and hopefully everything is all good. Find us on YouTube, Keeping Up with the Nerds, subscribe and ring that bell. If you guys have any comments or concerns or anything like that, hopefully good comments and compliments, comment down below on YouTube, or send us an email, or follow us on our website or on Instagram, on Twitter, Keeping Up with the Nerds website, keepingupwiththenerds.com. Let us know what you guys think. We love the feedback, and we're going to continue to grow. Like, we said at the beginning of the podcast, we've done a lot of work within the first month. There's only a lot more to do, and hopefully a lot more growth within this year. So thank you guys. Rene, are you ready to outro this issue?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
This has been Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 52. I'm your host, Rene.
This is Bryan.
This is Nick.
Recording at Undercity Comics in Undercity Comics in Uptown Whittier, California. We thank you all guys for listening, and see you all